in the front, on his lap. All right here. All right, what's going on, Faded Culture? Today we got another haircut tutorial. I'm gonna walk, just fucking right here, stand still. It feels awkward just standing still in one spot. I feel like stiff, and I ain't a stiff dude, you know? Yeah, I can say it again. You want me to say it again?
Say it right this time.
All right, what's going on, Faded Culture? Today we got another haircut tutorial where I'm gonna break down my step-by-step process on how to do a low skin fade. It's gonna be our similar steps that we always do on our channel, but it's gonna be a slightly different approach. I hope y'all enjoy it and y'all are able to learn from it. If it helps y'all, please let us know down in the comments what y'all did or didn't like about it. And also feel free to make any suggestions on what other haircuts y'all like to see on the channel. But with that being said, let's just jump right into the tutorial. That's good. Now first, before I start, I always like to quickly just assess the haircut, groom it into its natural state first, just so I can kind of get a good idea of how his hair lays and how I'm gonna approach it when I come to start cutting it. I am gonna debulk a little bit with my 1.5 guard lever open right here. And I know since I am doing a low fade, my guidelines are gonna be right here, right above the ear, and I'm gonna make sure it slants towards the back and it slants towards the front so we can preserve that C-cup area. See, I debulked there with that 1.5 open. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my number 3 guard. And if you're thinking about snowboarding, don't. Fuck no, I almost broke your goggles too, Steven. Don't ever let me that shit again. I thought they would work. I thought that would make me a better snowboarder. It'll be fun, they said. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Forgot I was filming the tutorial. I was gonna start cutting. All right, so now that I've debulked with that 1.5 open and the 3 lever open, I'm gonna go ahead and set in my first initial guideline with my trimmer. And again, like I said, it's gonna be low, so I'm gonna just make sure it slants towards the back and it slants towards the front, just so we can preserve that C-cup area. Now, a lot of the times when I'm doing a low fade, I like to use the hairline from behind the ear as a reference of where my first guideline is gonna be. So I'll slant it from right there, and then I'll slant it from right here in the front. So as you see how I just kind of used that line that he had, I didn't take that up any higher. That's gonna be my reference to where I start my first guideline. Now, I always like to recommend that we start by laying down that first initial guideline all around the head. That way you can step from the back and the front, make sure it's even on both ends before moving on and setting in the rest of your guidelines. This will ensure that your fade is even and balanced on each side. All right, so now for my next guideline, I'm gonna go ahead and open the lever on the clipper. Again, this is a different approach on how we do our fade, so I recommend y'all take note and just write the steps down. And also, if y'all feel like y'all need more guidance, go ahead and join our online mentorship. We'll link it right here so y'all could join it. We're able to give y'all a little bit more guidance on there by y'all submitting y'all's haircuts so that we can review them and better help y'all make better decisions or do better techniques. Like I said, we have our first guideline. I'm gonna just come up about 1/2 inch from that previous one. All right, so now that we've created that guideline, I'm gonna start blending out this one. Usually we go ahead and start setting in the rest of the guidelines. This time I'm gonna go ahead and as I create a line, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out. So we have this one. We have that top one as a safety net so that we don't travel any higher than that. And then we have that first one that we're gonna take out. We set it in with our trimmer, but now I'm gonna close the lever on the clipper. I'm gonna open it just a tiny bit so I can start blending out that line. But I'm only gonna travel up from where it starts to about halfway between that line and that line. And at the same time, making sure that I'm flaring out so that we don't push the line up. We're blending it out. And it's gonna take me 2 lever positions to blend it out. So what I'm gonna do is break this line down into about 3 sections. So I'll worry about it right here, and then right here. Right now, I'm just focused from the front arch right here to the top of the ear. So you see how we already took out most of it. I'm gonna go ahead and open the lever to that 3/4 spot. And now I'm gonna start from that halfway point up until right before that top line. Again, that's our safety net so that we don't take that fade up any higher. And then just move on. All right, so next I'm gonna go ahead and use the number 1 guard, lever fully open to set in my next guideline. Now the guideline's already there, but this guard is basically gonna expose it so that we can start blending it. Again, just coming up about another 1/2 inch from that previous line. And then I just go over it like a couple of times, or like 3 times, just to really get it cut to the right length that we need it. Next, it is gonna take 2 guards to blend out completely. Like normally, that top line, we start with that half clip, lever at 3/4, and hitting it with the corner, angling the clipper, tilting it inward. I'm gonna go ahead and start blending out the initial start of that line. Again, staying about towards that halfway point before we reach that top line, because we don't wanna push that blend up. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on that 1 guard. Again, I'm gonna leave that lever at 3/4 and basically just clean up right under that top line. Then we go ahead and throw on that 1.5 clip, lever open, and I'm gonna start trying to connect to that top lane. But just coming up about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. It's up to me to flare out so we don't take off too much length right there. Next, I'm gonna grab the number 2 guard and again do the same thing, coming up about another 1/4 inch. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and just clipper over comb anything else that hangs over the fade right here. What I'm gonna do is make sure that I grab that hair that's sticking out or overhanging. I'm gonna flare out the comb to finish connecting that side blend.
And as he's clipper over combing, I did want to add, we just dropped a video on our school platform elaborating more on the whole clipper over combing techniques. So again, hit the description below if you care to join and want to see that video.
Who the fuck are you?
True. Let me get out. I was hard to be the camera guy.
Is he with you, Danny? Yeah. Who the fuck is this guy?
My bad, man.
All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and soften up that ridge right there by using our thinning shears. Right here, what I'm gonna do is grab any chunk that I feel has a little too much of a heavy weight, and I'm gonna just go over it with the thinning shears. As if I'm doing clipper over comb, this is shear over comb, just to soften up the transition from the fade to the top bolt. And this is all visual, guys, so it's up to you to like cut it, comb it, recomb it back down so that you can better see if you still need to go over it more or if you've done enough. So before I do any touch-up work, what I like to do is take off the rest of the bottom of the hair. I want to run through the whole process all around, then I come back and do the touch-up work, because a lot of the times I feel like the touch-up work becomes a lot more clear once the haircut is about 95 to 98% done, rather than spending too much time. I like to just kind of look at it as I want to get like 98% of the haircut down before really doing any touch-up work. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take off the rest of the bottom of the hair with the trimmer, and then shave it with the electric shaver. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the wall vanish shaver. Again, all of our tools are from Wall. All right, now at this point, I'm gonna just go over every side of the fade and just determine if I wanna do any more touch-up work. Right here, I feel like I wanna soften up that line right here. So I'm gonna go over it, open the lever at 3/4, and then just take it a space at a time, clean up the fade a little bit more or as much as I can get it. At this point, it's all visual, and it's basically what separates, in my opinion, every barber from one another. Everybody has like a different eye on how to detail. So with experience, you'll be able to more and more develop your eye, especially when you study videos, study pictures. Just try to replicate the fade as clean as you can get it. So yeah, when you're doing touch-up work, you're gonna have to utilize that lever. You're gonna open it and close it depending on where exactly you are on the fade. Remember, the lower you are, the closer. I mean, the more closed the lever will be, the higher you get into that fade, the more open you will. Move that lever, or you'll have to throw on another guard to attack higher areas in the fade. And that's where it's up to you to remember more or less where you set in your guidelines with what guards. That way you have a better idea or a reference point onto like where to start, with what guard or with what lever position to start, so you can detail that area out. That's a good tip too for anyone that's viewing right now. You want to determine what areas you feel or could need some touch-up work. What I like to do sometimes, right now I'm using the camera as a reference, but you can bust out your phone, record the side, and then just look at it. Sometimes it gives your eyes a rest from seeing it in real life, and then the phone might expose some areas that you may need to work on. So Even if you use pictures from Instagram or social media or Google that you save that you consider to be a really great fade, it's a good idea to always have that by you when you're working or practicing your fade, just so you have something to aim towards and you're not just winging it. That's what I did in my early stages of barbering, so I think it'll help you. We'll go ahead and just edge up under the bangs really quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prep my Turkish razor. I snap off the sides, and there's a little insert at the tip of this razor. Go ahead and slide that razor in at your preferred exposure, and then you're good to go. Then I also am going to use a little bit of our shaving gel just so that I don't irritate the skin when I come in and shave. I'll go ahead, I'm going to start with shaving down first, shave off most of the excess hair, and then I'll shave against my line just to get them as sharp as I can. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of enhancements just right here to the corner. Just like that. Just to make that the edge up pop a little harder. But I'm gonna redampen the hair a little bit. And I'm gonna use a little bit of our Faded Culture matte clay. Faded Culture matte clay, I could get it at fadedculture.com. All right, guys, but that's pretty much it for this haircut tutorial on a low skin fade. Hopefully y'all were able to learn something from it. If y'all did, let me know down in the comments what y'all did or didn't like, or any questions y'all may have so I can better explain to y'all or help y'all or further guide y'all. And also, if y'all need more guidance and want to join our online mentorship, like I said, y'all could join on our school platform. We'll leave the link right here. Y'all can go ahead and check it out. Oh, and also big shout out to Wall. We did use their tools in this video. So again, if y'all like to purchase any of their tools at wallpro.com, y'all can use our code FadedCulture15 at checkout to save a little bit when y'all purchase. But other than that, guys, we'll just see y'all in the next video. Peace. If y'all are ever in Fredericksburg, Texas, hit up my boy Omar Too Blurry. He's a barber too, so he'll get you right in Fredericksburg, Texas.